Hello everybody, Ckixy here, and today I got quite a bit of updates, multiple updates, to my Minecart storage and delivery system. So, well, first off, I am a derp, and someone pointed this out to me in the comments, is I was using Minecart hoppers, and I could have been using chest minecarts the entire time, because they store quite a significant difference. This holds 27 if I'm correct, and this one holds 5, so that just makes it where the delivery can store more, so it stores more before it delivers. And then also, like I pointed out, these could be just regular minecarts or minecart tracks. It's just these separate a little bit better because they could only face one direction. And so this is my Mark 1 right here, and let's count it up. So one thing I'm looking for is not only compaction but resource intensiveness. So this one requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hoppers before it gets to the elevator. It also requires a cauldron and a piston, which are also iron, and then it requires 2 comparators, not just one, which comparators require nether quartz, so those are quite expensive. So let's move over to my Mark II. So this is my newer design, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hoppers, so the same exact amount of hoppers, but it only uses 1 comparator because I used a torch elevator instead of a torch ladder instead of a piston. So this cuts down a little bit more on redstone because it makes it a little bit more stackable. And so that's the Mark II right there. And let's go to my Mark III. And by the way, when I compact stuff, I go on a compaction spree. So I compact it, and I'm like, okay, so I could change this one little thing, and it will make it so much more compact. I just go on and on. So this is my Mark III, and as you can see, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hoppers before it goes to the elevator. And so how this design works is I put the hoppers facing crossways, so the last minecart track actually has a hopper under it as well. When the minecart is at its slant, when this is closed, it actually can't dispense into the hopper that's directly above, because you think when it's like this it would be able to fill this hopper right here, but it can't because its lowest point is touching this hopper, and so technically the rest of the minecart is 1 block above this, and this one is directly on this block, so it dispenses into that. But what I did is, since this one can feed into this guy, it doesn't take up any more room because it's pushing it 1 forward, which uses 1 less over here. And then with this design, I was able to put a comparator out here and use only 1 torch and a repeater. And since I was able to do that, it actually made it 1 less tall. So in all, it saved 1 hopper. So a little bit of saving. So that's Mark III. Now for the Mark IV. Oh, this one's a little crooked. So instead of using the fence gate and all that, I decided just to go with powered rails. So this one has a little dip up, and it powers this comparator right here, and by going through this hopper, and it has the storage below it, and then it just does the normal. It has the single torch and a repeater, and since it powers this block, it powers this powered rail right there. And so the powered rail is always on because of the torch, so as soon as it receives an item, it will shut itself off. So let's put 16 items into there and launch it. And so you can see it goes up and unpowers the rail, so now it gets stuck there until all the items are sorted. And then once it's finished sorted, it just pushes the minecart back out, and since the rail is always powered, the minecart will always return back if it's empty. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hoppers until the elevator, so that saves 1 more hopper. So now we're saving 2 hoppers. Now for the best compaction ever, this is my Mark V right here. And this one, let me go on this side because it's easier to see. this one I decided to go with a under the rail power system. So instead of having the smart minecart return system in the back of it, I did it underneath the rail. And since I'm using powered minecarts now, or powered minecart tracks, now I could make them in a long line, and no matter which one I power, it will power all of them. So this design uses 2 hoppers until you have the elevator, and the hopper or the elevator is actually used to stop the minecarts as well. So it's a very well integrated design. You could move this around if you want. This, you just have to have this single bit of storage right there, and then you can move it wherever you want. So how this design works is the minecart pulls up, it starts emptying off items. The items pass this comparator, which goes to this torch, which will unpower all the minecart tracks. So it is required to have 4 powered minecart tracks here. You could extend it however far you want, or you could put a break and then more powered minecart tracks. It's just required to have all 4 of these connected. So now if I put an item into here and launch it, you'll see it goes and gets unpowered and stays there, and it starts going up the minecart or the item elevator, and once it's done emptying all its items, it goes back to its original position. And then this was a little bit easier to set up now that I didn't have the mechanism in the back. I just have the comparators with repeaters in front of them. I have repeaters because if this has a single item in the elevator, it will only give a 1 block signal. So I use comparators after them to make all these signals the same. And then once it goes into there, I have another one to make sure that the signals are the same length to go into the clock. And then I just have the clock and a torch elevator. And so these torch elevators right here, you only need to have 1 clock and 1 elevator, and then the rest you could bridge off. And what I mean by that is you could go 15 blocks out from where the torch is, and you could just put redstone on top of these and then put torches out the front. So you can make this however wide you want as long as it's within the torch. If it goes without the torch, or if it goes out of the range of the torch, you'll have to have multiple clocks for a very wide system. But it should be fine because it's completely separated. And then also I fixed the issue where I was clogging the system with the powered minecart chest, or powered trap chest, because if you open the trap chest as the elevator was working, it would actually clog the system because it blocked the items from going into it. So the way I divvied up the storage is I used minecart chests, and all you have to do is have rails like this facing crossways so they don't link with each other. And with that system, you don't have to worry about them moving out of position. You could push them as much as you want and they won't move. And also I used half slabs on both sides. I put half slabs where these torches are just in case, because I'm afraid that if you put a full block, it will power the minecart tracks and make them turn. So I just put half slabs. It's up to you how you want to decorate it, but it's a pretty good way to store them. And like I said before, since this is a torch elevator or torch ladder, you can make this elevator go as high as you want. So I just put it short so you could kind of see relatively how it works. And let me do a tileable demonstration so you can know that they actually work side by side. And so it goes 4, 8, 16, and let's launch these. And like before, whichever minecart goes forward powers all of the elevators, so it will create a bit of lag because it's powering all of them, but it shouldn't affect the rate of, or the fail rate. It has 0 fail rate, so you can see 4, 8, and 16. And so that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.